Hello, welcome. As I get my tripod situated here. Hello, welcome everybody to this beautiful weekly, well, I shouldn't say weekly, I almost got into my habit. It's our annual card reading today. Happy 2020 to everyone. Super exciting to start this beautiful year off with a card reading and spiritual understanding of the energy presenting itself in this 2020 year. I'm super excited to connect with you. My table is full of goodies today, so I'm going to explain all the beautiful things I have right here on my table today. I've got my cards all kind of over the place and my beautiful notes for today to talk about this year, this beautiful 2020 year we just stepped into. Happy New Year's to everybody. So excited to connect with you all. Hi, Leslie. Definitely feel free to tell me where you're coming from, where you're tuning in from. Let's see who's all live with us here today. Happy New Year, Linda. Good to see you as well. I see Susan's here. Happy New Year to you. Happy 2020. Super exciting. I'm in my white jumpsuit or my white little outfit today, all about purity, all about clarity. That's what 2020 is about. We're going to get into all of this symbolism and understanding spiritually about this beautiful year that we're stepping into and this new decade. Super exciting. Lisa's here too. Hi, Lisa. So excited to see you. So I'm super excited about this. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little bit distracted just right now because I have so many things on my table and I'm super excited to tell you all about what they all mean and what they're here for. I've got my lovely sage and cedar with my beautiful white feather to smudge. I've got this beautiful selenite, and this was gifted to me by Leslie, so thank you, Leslie. Beautiful selenite candle holder with a beautiful white candle inside. White is a great way to bring in the new year, representing cleansing, clarity, new beginnings, and I'll be lighting this candle in just a moment to start our ceremony off. I've got this beautiful wine glass full of water and Florida water with some rose petals inside. Really beautiful. This is our water element. So what we're doing here and why I want to talk about this is because when we start a new year, it's so good to have a little ceremony going, and I'm sure there's so many people doing so many different ceremonies in all different ways, but this happens to be how I do mine. And so I use the white candle, and I love the selenite because that really brings the purity even more into this energy. And so we'll light that. This is for the fire element. So we bring in the fire element. We want to bring in all elements. So we've got this beautiful candle lit now, fire element activated. Like I said, we've got the water element here with the Florida water, the regular clear water, and some rose petals to amplify the love energy. I've got selenite everywhere, just everywhere, because there's just so much need for it, and it's so great for clarity and cleansing. And then I also have, like I said, my beautiful sage. This is a sage, cedar, and sweetgrass blend. And so I'm gonna light this here as well. This will be our earth element. And it takes a little while to get this one going because of the cedar. And I've got a little white lighter too, all cleansing, right? And so I'm just gonna smudge the area with the feather, just wafting that smoke around. And I'm really showing you guys this so that you can do your own version of your own ceremony today or tomorrow, or just whenever you feel called to. This is really great for new moon as well. Cleansing my cards. I threw my cards in the freezer today, and that's another way to really cleanse your cards. So I really wanted a deep cleanse for my cards for the new year. So I threw them in the freezer today. They're a little bit have a little bit of condensation on them. Usually I put them in there with a Ziploc bag, but I didn't have enough Ziploc bags today. So I just kind of threw them in the freezer for a little bit. And then for the air element, I have my beautiful crystal bowl, and we always like to ring the bowl for just bringing in that air element, that vibration, that unseen energy that really recalibrates, recenters, rebalances the energy. So I'm going to do this as we take a couple of deep breaths just to get ourselves nice and centered and relaxed. And feel free, everybody who's joining me here, to continue letting me know who's here. Say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you haven't ever seen one of my readings and this is your first time joining, what a great time to join for the 2020 annual reading. I'm Rissa Vibes. I am an intuitive and intuitive coach, and I also have a psychology degree. So I bring all of those elements together in a really full, in-depth understanding of the energy of each week when I do my live weekly readings, and for this one, the annual reading of the energy for the year. So let's go ahead and get nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed. Everybody joining here now, ready to center, ready to connect to this New Year's Day as we breathe deeply in. Big breath out to relax. Another deep breath in. And big breath out to relax, releasing the energy of 2019 and welcoming the energy of 2020 with another deep breath in, biggest one yet. Opening up to all the spirit messages we will receive in this reading with a big exhale to relax. And one more little singing of the bowl, activating that air element. Just keep breathing here. Let the bowl sing. So nice. And then, of course, we're going to be activating the spirit element as well through this reading as we tap into the energy, the spirit messages, and also some of the astrological energy that is coming forth in 2020. So let's see who's all here. We've got 17 people viewing live. Super exciting. All right. Of course, we've got Leslie, Lisa, Linda, Susan. So excited to see all of you. Kevin is here from the edge of Washington coast. It's truly breakdown for breakthrough. Awesome. Yes, there's a lot of that energy. We felt that last week with some of that breakdown and breakthrough, and we're going to keep feeling that, but it's all so powerful and necessary for this new year. Jasenia's here. Happy 2020, love. So good to see you. Fox Mama is here. Ra already cleansed my crystals already today. Wonderful. That's great to know. Gaten's here. Vibe Tribe 2020. Yes. So exciting to see you all. Kiwi's here. Hola. So good to see you, love. Oh my gosh. And Tisha's here as well. Happy New Year, beautiful. I'm super excited to connect with all of you today. Tajana is here as well. First time catching you live. Wonderful. What a great opportunity for this 2020 year to start it off with some live connections here on my channel. And thank you so much for joining live today. It's super exciting. We also have Simone here. Happy New Year from Georgia. Hello. All right, you all. So let's go ahead and start with some amazing spirit messages and just a little bit of disclosures I like to add for the new year readings that I do. I did one last year for 2019. Sometimes it can be fun to go back and rewatch that and really understand how it unfolded in your life for 2019. I know Linda did that this week, and she really enjoyed that. She had wrote me and told me that she had rewatched the 2019 annual reading, which I think is a great way to reset and just reflect on that energy. But now we're ready for the 2020 annual reading. And what I'd like to disclose in this is that, you know, there's several timelines available for the way things are going to manifest in life and in the world. And with that being said, because we're at such a heightened vibration now, and because, you know, we're really more realistic and aware and honest and genuine about the way energy unfolds in the world. And me being an intuitive, I really like to put the disclosure out there that, and especially for this year, that because there's so many different timelines available for everybody in their life, every person has a personal timeline, set of timelines that are available to them for things and how things will go. Just like when we think about the worst case scenario and the best case scenario, that's just an easy example of that. And there's all sorts of timelines in between. Of course, we always want to focus on the best case scenario so that more of those positive experiences are attracted to us. But that being said, I'd like to really talk about how these annual readings are meant to be perceived and experienced. So we are going to pull cards for every single year or every single month of the year. Now, with that being said, it's important to recognize that these are going to be somewhat predictive, but not to the point of exact representation of the energy for you. It may be completely different for you, or an element, a version of that energy that's presented in this annual reading will be a part of your actual timeline. Because everybody's different, we all have other people in our lives, other experiences, other environments, other characteristics that have to be put into play. So these cards that we're going to be pulling are really to help us focus, center our focus on what the cards present, so that we can use these understandings of the cards and what comes up as ways to set intentions for how to move through that month and throughout this year in general. So I really want to encourage you to not overly to not overly depend on the energy presented on each of these month's cards, but instead to use them as a guide and as an area of focus that Spirit is encouraging us to have every month, if that makes sense. And I'm also doing the forecast for the 6 months forecast for 2020. So I'm doing personal readings, one-on-one readings for you if you want to also do this on a personal level for the first 6 months, where I pull 6 cards, one for each month for the first 6 months of 2020. Today's the last day to schedule that. So if you want to schedule it, doesn't mean you have to get that done today, but as long as you put it in the books today, then you'll still get the offer. It's only $65 to do that. So if you do want to have one of those personal 6-month forecast readings, then definitely email me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com or Instagram me at readingsbyrissa, and I'll be happy to schedule that for this weekend or next week, and then you'll get the deal. Super exciting. So with those disclosures in mind, and that being said, let's go ahead and start with the spirit messages of this year that I received. Did some meditating today and all week, really tapping into the energy that is to be expected in 2020 and what this year really represents for all of us. And now that we've got our water element, our fire element, our earth element, and our air, we're ready to tap into spirit. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing is, like I said, we did our little ritual, lighting the New Year candle, the white light, and the selenite and the white candle really represents, and even my outfit really represents purity, clarity, awareness, this ability to cleanse and feel like a clean slate we are walking into, and we absolutely are. Anita's here. Happy New Year. Hello, Anita. Thank you for joining. So new clarity, new beginnings, just ringing the bells to really signify that energy as well, and to really tap into a recalibration. And I also have some crystals I want to discuss real quick, because this will also be a really great way to set the tone of this energy this year. The first crystal, of course, like I said, selenite. Again, thank you, Leslie, for this beautiful selenite heart. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I have it always on my table. I also have this really cool little unicorn horn selenite that I got for a Christmas gift this week, or this last month as well, from all my goddess tribe here in Arizona. Super fun. So selenite is really about cleansing, and it always stays cleansed. That's the beauty of selenite. You don't really have to charge selenite in the sun or under the moon for it to keep its cleansing power. It's always cleansing. And so this can also be a really great way to cleanse your crystals, putting it in the same area as all your other crystals, and also just keeping it around you continuously and consistently, because you are creating that cleansing energy always when you're around it. And so this is going to be a great crystal to have around you for 2020. 2020 signifies 2020 vision, which is all about clarity, right? The clearest, best vision we can have, and the clearest, best energy we can have. So that selenite is really going to assist with that. Next crystal I want to talk about for this new year is the Herkimer diamond. These are absolutely beautiful. And the Herkimer is another extreme purifier, but it also is really good for strengthening the mind, which we're really going to need this year as we make clearer decisions, as we see things more clearly and move accordingly to that, as we really express ourselves more clearly through our own knowledge, intellect, and understanding. So the strengthening of the mind with the Herkimer diamond is going to be really powerful. So I encourage you guys to get one of those if you don't have one. Also, clear quartz, I like to rub this one in my hands. This is one that I was actually gifted by my dear grandmother who passed in 2013, but I got this from her when I was around 12 or 13 years old, and I never really knew what crystals were at that time. And then I got older and realized the power of it, and just it's really dear to my heart. So clear quartz is also another purifier. This one also helps you align with spirit, and also get more clear intuition, which is really powerful. So clearing the mind with the Herkimer in more of an intellectual way, and then clearing the intuitive center with the clear quartz, really powerful for that. I also pulled blue kyanite for the 2020 year. This is going to be really great for clear expression. Since we're going to have clear insights and better vision and awareness, we're going to need to be able to express ourselves more clearly in response to that awareness, and as we make decisions based on what we understand. So blue kyanite is going to help with the throat chakra. It also will help a little bit with the third eye as well. So kind of activating that clear intuition also, and clear insight. And then finally, the last crystal that I pulled for this year is Unakite. This is the one of the magic enchanting crystals. I'm also going to pull my Labradorite because I'm being called to do that as well. Labradorite is more of a magic, mystical, enchanting type of crystal, and then the Unakite is more of an earth-centered, grounded version of that. So Labradorite and Unakite can come together and really ground in our magic and mystical qualities. Speaking of magic and mystical qualities, I am going back to Belize in April to do a ethical witches and wizardry retreat, all about activating the enchanting aspects of our being, our mystical selves, and to really release the stigma of dark magic and anything like that, because we're not going to be practicing that at all at this retreat. We're going to be doing light magic and really activating what it means to have a pure intention and to work with the elements and the magic and mysticism of that energy. So if you're interested in that retreat, definitely comment below or email me, readingsbyruss@gmail.com, because this is so crucial for our year this year, to really understand what it means to master our magical selves, our mystical selves, and to understand how the elements work with us, how we can amplify manifestations, how can we really accept the parts of us that are truly magical, truly alchemizing, truly amplified in this awareness of our ability to transform things as we see fit, and also transform ourselves. It's going to be a really powerful retreat. So definitely reach out to me. It is going to be in Belize, Central America, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's paradise there. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Okay, so let's get into these official spirit messages for 2020. So first of all, I want to tap in a little bit to the numerology, because this is really significant for 2020. Of course, we've got two 20s next to each other for 2020, which calculates to a 4-year in numerology. Now, 4 is all about hard work, dependability, organization, and harmony. It also brings forth an angelic presence of assistance from your angels in any contrast or challenges that you are facing. So this is going to be a really beautiful number to tap into. I'm talking about the 4 specifically first, and then I'll get into the 20 in just a second. So like I said, 2 plus 2, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and we've got 4-year activating. Now, we just came off of a 12-year and also a 3-year, because we used 12 to 3, and so now we're in this 4-year. 3 was all about harmony and understanding the Trinity and clear communication and truth, and really understanding that. This year is a 4-year. It's about being dependable, organized, hardworking, and also really activating this angelic assistance for moving forward through contrast. So a little bit different here, and we're really using the 3 energy that we mastered to assist us in the 4 energy this year. So like I said, with that 4, the 4 is also the Emperor card in the tarot, which is associated with the sun. And the sun is all about action. And the Emperor card is also about action, protection, preparation, stability, strength, loyalty as well, and unwavering sturdiness, this sense of security. And so we're really going to feel that in 2020 as well. We're going to feel this new level of dependability and this new level of protection, this new level of really setting boundaries for our own protection, feeling really confident and secure in our own energy, and acting on that as well, acting on the truth that we mastered in last year for the 3 year, acting on what we feel is necessary for our hardworking, dependable selves and harmonious selves for this year to come. And we're going to feel a lot of rapid manifestation when it comes to that, because we did activate quite a bit of divine feminine energy last year. Now we're activating more masculine energy this year, and we're kind of balancing it. And even in 2018, we had a lot of divine feminine energy, and then so 2019 was a little bit of a kind of culmination of that. And then this year we're going to have a little bit more masculine energy for more creation. And so this is going to be an amazing energy to feel into. We're going to feel more stable, more secure, and we're going to have more opportunities for security and stability as well, and independence, which I'm going to get into in just a moment. Now, it's also important to understand that the four represents balanced creativity as well. And this is part of the lessons that we're going to be learning from this 4 year, is that we're going to learn how to be creative, but in a balanced way. And exactly how I was referencing when we're talking about the masculine energy and the feminine energy, how to balance the creative essence of intuition, divine insight, compassion, love, nurture, that is the feminine energy, and then to balance that creativity with action, purpose, strength, protection, dependability in that masculine form. And so with those combined, we're going to really have this rapid manifestation that comes forth in 2020. And we're going to see it. We've already been seeing it the last several months as we really manifest more quickly than we ever have. And sometimes that can be a great thing. And sometimes we're like, oop, careful what you manifest for, right? Careful what you're trying to create, because sometimes that manifestation can happen like that. And you realize, oop, that was might have been a miscreation, might have needed to be more specific on that manifestation, or think it out a little bit better. So we're really going to learn that this year. And it's going to be really important to really think through all the manifestations you're asking for and seeking, because they're going to manifest so quickly that you're not really going to have time to go back and edit. Of course, you can always manifest something different so that you can kind of recalibrate that manifestation from before, but better off to just really think it through and activate that sense of clear sight so that you can manifest appropriately. I also got the message that there's no wasting time this year, that we're really just going headstrong into everything, and we're going head fast as well. And so we're going to feel a lot of strong, quick energy approaching us, facing us, and within us in 2020, which is going to also be cater to the rapid manifestation and creativity and that hardworking energy. Our hard work is going to pay off really quickly as well, because we're going to feel that kind of quickness and that lack of just unnecessary time wasted. We're just going to really feel like we're going to be able to juice every moment that we have and stay in the present moment and get everything that we need from it. And that's going to be really great energy to tap into. Now, I want to discuss also the 0 here, because we've got 2020, right? So we have 2 zeros. The 0 represents an all-inclusive energy, the awareness that we are all one, we are all connected. And this is going to be more and more apparent to us in this year as well. We're going to recognize that people that we've had differences with for a while, or just always felt a little bit dualistic with, are actually very similar to us. And we're going to start to see more similarities between us and those that we maybe don't harmonize with as much, or that we feel are a duality to us. And this is also going to be in experiences and circumstances, in governmental systems as well, and social structure. We're just going to see that a lot of the energy is going to be kind of manifested in similar ways in each kind of category of life and category of groups of people and environments. So it's going to be really great for us in that way, because we're going to be able to be more humble from that awareness. And we're going to be able to be more reflective of what those mirroring aspects between us and those opposite to us are really about, and why they're presenting themselves. And that's going to be part of that 2020 vision and clarity and that awareness that we need. So that's going to be really, really beneficial. It's also going to be a little bit tricky, right? Because you're going to have to face some of that awareness that you're not as different as from things or people or environments that you thought you were. And you're going to have to really understand how to react to that, how to navigate that, how to be more compassionate, how to be more aware, how to be more receiving of that information and wise in that understanding, which is going to be helpful for us in maturing in our spiritual growth. So this is going to be a great energy. So we're all one, we're all connected. And this is also a source energy with the number 0. So we're going to feel even more connection to source. We're going to feel this just completely all-inclusive connection to source light and feeling it as it runs through us as we are extensions of it, which is also going to help with the manifestations. So all of this is really culminating together in this beautiful story of oneness and movement forward and balance and creative essence, which is beautiful. All right, I want to get into the 20s because this is also very important. And it was really fun. Last night, I went out to a little speakeasy private party that the radio station out here was hosting. And it was really, really fun. And at first, I didn't really understand the idea of the party because it was a 20s theme party, like a 1920s theme party, which was really fun. But then I realized, oh yeah, like 100 years ago, it was 1920. Like how crazy, right? So thinking about that, is just really cool to like honor the 20s and to honor that energy and also recognize how far we've come in 100 years and imagine how far we will grow and expand into in 3020, right? Which we might not all be alive for here, but we may reincarnate, right, in the 3020s and totally feel connected to that again. So really, really fun. But the 20s, the number 20 is all about empathetic energy, that empathic sensitivity. It's about compassion and loyalty, which also adds to some of that similar definition from the 4s. And it's also about mastering balance. That's another aspect of that divine feminine and masculine, the inner child and the adult, the ability to really feel into our shadow and our light and to balance that fully, which we experienced a lot of this last month. So if you watched my weekly reading that I posted this last Sunday, I talked all about how that new moon in Capricorn and solar eclipse really jolted us into a lot of shadow awareness and just understanding what that meant and overcoming some of that energy and really being able to use it as a launching pad to understand what we need in 2020. And now we are really tapping into that with this Master 20 balance of all of that. It's also about infinite potential, the number 20, which is really great. And so we have infinite potential this year as we move into it. And we're going to continue having that show up for us in all of our aspects of life, which is going to be beautiful. Now, the number 20 is in reference to let me double check here because I want to make sure, the Judgment card. And so the lessons that we're going to be receiving for 2020, and I'm talking about the tarot. So in the tarot, 20 is the Judgment card, which means that we are going to really start to navigate internal conflicts and be able to be more clear about what decision to make based on our internal conflicts and judging clearly and correctly with this Master 20 number. So anything that you've been internally conflicted upon this year is going to really clear that up. You're going to have more insight and you're going to feel more capable of making the right decisions out of balance with that 20 number. Now, another lesson that comes forth with that card is also, and number, is also the ability to be alone and to really accept soul solitude in times when you need it and times when you have to have it. The number 20 is all about relationships, right? Because twos, it comes in pairs, right? And so it's also about commitments and relationships and understanding your relationship to having relationships. And anybody that's codependent or just has struggled with that in the past is really going to learn throughout this year how important it is to accept being alone and accept solitude and how to be grateful for that. And that may be a little bit tricky. It might be a little challenging at first for some people who are really used to having people around or just having that dependability on others. So this is going to be a lesson that's learned as well, the ability and capability to be alone and to feel your potential in thriving in that energy as well. So that's going to be necessary for us as we move into 2020. Just want to make sure I didn't leave anything out. We are embodying a lot of things too, our manifestations, our desires through that action, through that determination, through that movement forward of the 2020 year. And so I really encourage you all to just feel into that sense of what you want in intentional wise, like what you're intending for in 2020. Set your intentions clearly, and then really ask yourself, how can I embody these intentions? How can I start to bring in action and characteristic and true expression of my intentions of 2020, and start that now, because we're going to be feeling this embodiment of everything. We're not going to be able to really sit and ponder too much. We're going to have to just move forward, move forward, move forward with that clear sight that we receive, and to trust our gut, to trust our intuition on that as well, and to connect with spirit when we need more clarification, because that clarity is absolutely available to us. Okay, also super important to dream big this year. Dream big and dream fearlessly. There is so much powerful manifestation energy of this year 2020, and this master number and this 4 and the 0 and all of that is all just really just speaking to manifestation. So why not manifest your biggest dreams? Why not use that energy to really bring forth what you truly desire on a big scale, and to release fear of that? That's going to be a huge part of this year as well. Releasing fear, releasing judgment, like we talked about the judgment card, judgment of self, judgment of others, having more clear awareness of what to do when it comes to judgment, and how to move through things with decisions, and also just feeling into this really strong ability to understand the loyalty to ourselves that comes through when we release fear, judgment, and doubt, because we become more loyal to ourselves and more loyal to our manifestations when we truly believe in them, and that's important. The number 2 also represents believability and faith and hope. So we really want to believe in what we want to achieve, and that's how we're going to really manifest what we desire and amplify that energy. Super exciting. Now, of course, we're in a new decade, so we have a total brand new 10-year span that we're tapping into as well. The number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune card in tarot, which is really allowing us to have deeper self-understanding and wisdom. We're connecting to what we want in our passion and purpose and how to pursue it. We're understanding all of the culmination of magic and energy that's around us to help us manifest that as well. And we're releasing the baggage of 2019 and the years before. And that's super important. So if you haven't felt like you've released things of 2019 or the years before yet, and you're still working on that, keep working on that, keep intending for it, keep asking your guides for divine intervention to help you release, and start choosing a different story that you want to express and embody, because that's what we're talking about with 2020, is embodying something new. So by understanding what we don't want to bring in from 2019 and earlier will help us to be clear on what we do want to bring in. So sometimes it can be a nice practice to list everything that we just want to let go of, and then from there we read it back and we say, okay, if I'm letting go of all of these things, what does that look like? What does it mean for me to be rid of all of this stuff? What is that picture of my life that is clear of all of this? And then you get really clear on what you want to embody for 2020, and then you start asking yourself again, okay, how do I embody that intention? How do I start putting action forward and expression forward of this new picture of myself and my life that I'm seeing here? Super fun, and that gives us closure, which is really great. We want that closure so we can move into this new decade with just this freeing, liberating, complete sense of purity and connection. It's important also to enjoy the moment, the present moment in 2020. Things are going to move fast and really profoundly this year. So by really allowing ourselves to center in every moment, to appreciate every moment, to connect to the present moment in any way that we can, we're going to really be able to feel the fullness of everything we experience. And we don't want 2020 to just pass us by and be a glimmer in our past. We want to really feel like we remember every part of this year, because it's such a pivotal year. It's such an impactful year. So stay in the present moment. I truly recommend reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Such a great book to really encourage the present moment focus and consciousness, and to help you really absorb all of that serenity that comes with present moment consciousness as well. So, a couple of other messages here. The chakras that we're tapping into most in 2020 are as follows: the sacral chakra, which is our womb space for women and just the lower abdomen for men. This ability to create, that's what the sacral chakra is all about. It is our second chakra, which is why it's such a focus, because we've got those two twos. So, really allowing ourselves to connect to our creative ability, connect to our intuitive ability in creation, and then to balance that, like I said, with action from the masculine energy and protecting your creations, protecting your energy, protecting your ideas and inspiration through setting boundaries with people and places and environments, not putting things out before they're ready, really allowing a full process and completion of things. Super important as well, and staying in that believability, that faith, and that divine just confidence that you are going to create what you desire and that manifestation is on its way. And then from there, and just so you know, the sacral chakra is orange. So I also recommend any orange crystals. This is a citrine, or no, this is an orange calcite. This is a citrine. So any orange crystals will be really great for the sacral chakra healing. You can kind of place them on the lower abdomen, meditate with them, or just kind of use them in meditation when focusing on that sacral chakra to amplify that energy. So that's the second chakra, of course, for 2020. And then the next chakra that's a really big focus is the heart chakra, which is the fourth chakra. So really feeling into the heart, which we talked about, it's a number 4 year. So we want to really allow our heart to be amplified. We want to feel pure love. We want to allow our heart to expand in gratitude and bliss and connection. And the heart chakra also is a big part of manifestation and creation. So when we identify what we want through that clear mind perspective and clear insight, the heart is what magnetizes it by focusing on the emotions that represent what we want. So say you really want your new business to be really successful this year, and you really want to manifest this divine prosperity and success and growth of your business. So that's your identification of it. You've come to that awareness because of your clear insight. But you want to then feel into what it would feel like to have that successful business. What is it going to emotionally bring forth for you in prosperity? It's going to feel good. It's going to feel complete. It's going to feel fulfilled. It's going to feel empowering. It's going to feel activating. It's going to feel easy. It's going to feel convenient. It's going to feel expanded and sure and certain and sturdy and stable and secure, right? So when you feel into those emotions, you can feel your heart filling up with this energy and magnetizing that experience to you from that emotional activation of what you desire. So by staying focused on the emotions that you know you will feel when that manifestation comes, you are literally pulling it in, magnetizing it with the heart space. And that's a big focus for this year. So heart chakra all the way. And the heart chakra is green. So any green crystals will help with this. This is opal, green opal. And this is that unakite I told you about, which is going to be really powerful. Unakite in the heart space will really help with that magic essence of creation, which I really encourage, and to meditate with those for the heart chakra. And then the last chakra that is going to be most prevalent for 2020 is the third eye, our sixth chakra, right between our eyes. This is going to help us with that clear insight even more on an intuitive level, clear seeing, and really feeling into this ability to balance that intuitive insight with our creation of what we want as well, and to really use that insight and intuition to help us create more specifically and to open up to receiving what we desire. So that's where kind of the blue comes in, because kyanite helps with the third eye, also helps with the throat to help express the third eye expressions and awarenesses, which is going to be great. So sacral chakra, clear creating. Third eye, clear seeing. Heart chakra, clear feeling. Okay, that's really going to be the most important things, because last year we really mastered the throat chakra and the solar plexus, really understanding how to express our truth and to really be honest and genuine with ourselves and others, to understand everything that was going on in our life and to work through that. And then the solar plexus about really working through anything we needed to as far as self-confidence and courage, and just really this power, this soul power activation that we felt last year. So now it's time for us to really activate that sacral, that heart, that third eye. Super exciting. All right, and then the last message that I have for this 2020 year, as far as spirit messages go, before we pull cards, is that world systems and systems in general, organizations, systematic representation of things, just categorical understandings of things, are going to be rebirthing this year. We're going to see some collapsing of certain systems and then rebuilding of them. We're going to be seeing certain organizations and structures in our own life kind of collapsing and rebirthing. And this isn't to scare anybody, it's not to make anybody nervous. It may be a little challenging, absolutely, but it's going to be for our highest good. And the rebuilding, the rebirthing of those energies and systems and categories and structures are going to be most beneficial for us. They're going to really help us evolve in a really powerful way. So it's okay, and don't fight the crumbling aspect. Don't fight those tower moments that come in to kind of clear everything for rebuilding. It's going to be okay. And that's where that trust is going to come in. That's where that faith is going to come in. That's where that balance is going to come in. And that manifestation power is going to come in. And that clear insight to understand it all. So stay focused on that if you notice structures crumbling beneath you or around you or in your life or outside of your life or on a mass perspective, mass collective perspective. It will happen. It is happening. It's something that's been predicted in many different readings and astrological understandings and so forth. So just prepare for that, and it's going to be okay because you have that mastery skill within you now. You're activated and you're able to push through those rebuildings, and that's going to be important. It's better for us that way. All right, so let's see how everybody's doing before I get into a few of the astrological events that are coming forth this year. Tisha says, I've been keeping note of the numbers. I noticed to see the patterns, and the 4 has been a strong one for me in the last few months. Yes, powerful. Love that. Linda said, I was present each week, month of 2019. It was so nice to have these hints of possibilities available and super exciting to see how we could tap into spirit via your yearly card reading. Thank you so much, Linda. I'm so happy that you felt that, and it's absolutely so important to continue that present moment focus in this new year as well. Let's see, who else wrote? Oh, Lisa said, I'd really love to find out more about your retreat. Thank you, Lisa. Please message me because I cannot email or message you guys on YouTube. At least I haven't figured it out. If somebody knows how to, let me know. So yeah, message me or email me at readingsbyrissa on Instagram or readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, and I will give you all of the details. You can also go to the last weekly reading on Sunday that I posted and just scroll down in the description. There's a link for the Belize retreat info there. I'll also be posting a link for it in this description after I upload it all, so you can also access it that way. Really exciting. Let's see. Susan says, yeah, I hear you. Love that. I see you all communicating, talking. So good. Kiwi says, I like that. Clear creating, clear feeling, and clear seeing. Thank you, Rissa. Absolutely. So happy to help, Kiwi. And Anita says, I just discovered, besides complex PTSD, I suffer from narcissistic abuse syndrome, both parents and the narcissistic family scapegoat due to never standing up to my parents who abandoned me at 14. Yeah, a lot of narcissism from other people can really affect our lives. And so absolutely, this is an opportunity for you to really step into your power, to be independent, to be aware and clear on what that means for you and what you've realized in your life, and to move accordingly with your insight, with your intuition, and with your ability to manifest what you desire. Super powerful. Proud of you for really getting that clarity and awareness. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the astrology real quick before we pull cards for each of this year's months. I feel like my words are stuttering today. I don't know, maybe there's some energy. The energy is just so strong. I'm like not speaking all the way clearly, but luckily 2020 is all about clarity. So I'm sure that'll all fix itself. All right, so for astrology, a couple of really big events. Of course, like I've been talking about, we have this huge conjunction in Capricorn between Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto on January 12th, and that energy is potent. We have never seen this astrological event in 500 years, which means this is the first time we are seeing it in this era, in this eon, and that is so amazing. So we're going to feel a lot of the expansion of Jupiter, the understanding of abundance, the connection to home life and security there, mixed with Saturn, the responsibility, the determination, the maturity, the motivation, and then the rebirthing energy of Pluto in all of that way, really affecting all of our structures, organizations, awarenesses in our sturdiness and stability from Capricorn and our grounded energy. So this is going to be a really big deal on January 12th, something to really look into. I'm going to be talking more about that on the weekly readings leading up every Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central Time right here. So definitely keep tapping into those readings because I'll be talking more and more and more about that conjunction. We also have a lunar eclipse on January 10th, just a couple of days before that, which is going to be really powerful. I believe that one's in Cancer. Cancer is also the fourth astrological sign, and so we see that number 4 coming up already in this 4 year, really powerful there. And then another 4 showing up for us in February through May with 4 supermoons in a row between February and May, which is going to be really powerful. That means the moon energy is going to be super amplified. So if you're moon sensitive, if you feel lethargic, tired, overly emotional, or underly emotional, just affected. Maybe sometimes you feel more activated and really great in moon energy. However your moon sensitive expresses through you, just know that it's going to be amplified during that February through May supermoon time. So just prepare for that in any way that you feel called to. We're also going to have a blue moon on Halloween night in 2020, which will be really cool. So a lot of clarity in insight, intuition, emotional flow, and understanding with that blue moon on Halloween. And of course, on Halloween, we experienced the thinning of the veil, which is where I did my first retreat this last year in 2019 during Halloween week, where we really felt into the thinning of the veil, meaning spirit and matter really connects in a deeper and more profound way. We're able to see more spiritual connections, spiritual energy, and tap into spirit, the spirit world in general during the time in Halloween. And that's always the case every Halloween time, because the thinning of the veil just occurs right around then. The energy is just so potent. And then we're also going to have several meteor showers throughout this year as well. We'll talk about those in all the weekly readings as well, but just tons of meteor showers. I think there's at least 4 to 5 meteor showers this year to pay attention to. Some of them in the summer, some of them in the fall, some of them in the spring. So pay attention to that because that will be really fun to see. And it's just really letting us know that there's going to be a lot of cosmic energy to tap into. And then finally, another big astrological event of 2020, on December 14th, there will be another solar eclipse, and that will be over South America, which will be really beautiful. So really an understanding of kind of that shadow energy, matching the light, and really kind of balancing in another way as well. We just had a solar eclipse during the Christmas holiday, and we have another lunar eclipse after the or on the 10th, so after the new year. So pretty cool that we see all these eclipses happening right around year changes and decade changes. Okay, so that is all of the astrological events. Now we're ready to pull our beautiful cards. Super exciting for this. This is going to be our way of tapping in even deeper to the spiritual energy. We've got our beautiful elements all activated here. I've got tons of cards here for us to play with. So I'm going to start by just pulling the cards, but before that, I want to have us all connect again with some deep breaths. Anybody else that wasn't here when we did it originally, let's all get nice and centered as a web of light community and collective here. Let's go ahead and relax by closing our eyes down for just a moment. And when you're ready, let's take a nice deep breath in. Breathing in all those messages so far we've received about 2020 as we exhale into this energy of 2020 on this New Year's Day. Another deep breath in, feeling love and gratitude for the clear insight, the clear vision, the manifestation, and the hard-working determination that will make us so prosperous this year as you exhale to relax. And then another deep breath in, biggest one yet, opening up to all the card messages that we will receive for every month of the year moving forward here in this time and space as you exhale. Breathing here for just another moment, just to really get clear on your intentions for 2020. Just taking a couple moments of deep breath on your own to just feel into what you want what you want to feel, what you want to see in your life, what you want to experience, and imagining yourself as that energy, imagining yourself in that ideal manifestation. And believing that it is real, that it will occur, that it is valid, it will happen as you breathe. Mixing that faith, that creativity, that intuition, that stability, and that embodied action. And so it is. Slowly but yourself back up from that meditation, or if you'd like to stay in it, feel free. I'm going to start pulling cards. All right, and I would love, as I pull these cards, because I am going to pull 12 cards, I would love to see, and this might take a second because I just cleared these cards so much, they've got to reconnect with me. I would love to see what your intentions are for this year. So feel free to start commenting below right now as I cards about the intentions that you know you have for your year this year, for 2020. Let's start talking about what we are going to be experiencing, what we want, what we're intending for in 2020. And I'm just using my own intuition here on which cards to pull for which months. Spirit does well at just guiding me, there we go, to the cards that we need. And I am going to probably cover the first 6 months first and then go into the last 6 months after. So we'll pull the first 6 months worth now, and then we'll read those. And then, they're saying this one. And then we'll go from there. Let's see. Linda says, to listen to my guides. Beautiful. Susan says, financial freedom. Love that. Linda says, trust in my guides when I listen. Yes. So Susan says, listen more to my higher self and guides. Absolutely. Leo says, my intentions, keep the business with my friends and fam growing and family to start working from home. I love that. Great intentions, you guys. Absolutely so powerful also to share. Bianca says, my family and I set intentions last night. Mine's to get more physically active and speak up and out more. Beautiful. Becky says, be the best version of me. I love that. Such beautiful intentions, everyone. All right, let's go ahead and keep the intentions coming. I'll keep reading them as I see them. But let's go ahead and start with at least the first 6 months of this. It's super exciting. So for January, oh my gosh, I love this card for January. January's card for 2020 is Grace by Archangel Gabriel. How beautiful is that? Grace is all about flowing fluidly and easily and elegantly through experience and through energy. And really, as we transform from 2019 into 2020, we are feeling that graceful transition and we want to focus on grace. Remember, these card pulls are going to be a bit predictive, but also more focused on what we need to focus on for 2020, which in January, our card is grace. It's important to focus on grace. How are we moving through transition? How are we accepting change? How are we allowing and receiving new insight, clear vision, new creative ability, and so forth? And how are we also moving smoothly through that new level of hard work and dedication and determination and action, right? Super powerful. So grace. Yes, Linda, you're right. Grace for January. So good. And this is also a third eye card, if you notice, that deep blue. And so we're really going to feel that grace coming from our third eye. So it's going to be important to tap into our intuition to help us through that grace. And that purity. I love that we are all in white, right? And we've got all this selenite and all this clarity and purity. And then we've got this beautiful white swan flying across the cosmic sky for grace. So just totally affirming the energy we're already tapping into today with this reading for January. Grace. Love it. And my table is going to get really full. So I'm going to make a little bit more space here. so I can make sure we can have all the room we need. Okay. So grace for January. Let's see what February has. Oh, wow. Daughter of the Phoenix from the Kuan Yin deck. I got this deck from beautiful Hedwig. Thank you, Hedwig, for this deck. This is the Kuan Yin Oracle deck, and this card is Daughter of the Phoenix. This is all about rising out of the fire, recognizing that any chaos or challenges that we experience are really fueling a new level of achievement for us on the other side of that fire, a new strength, a new beauty, a new appreciation that comes forth from rising out of flames and into a spiritual transition. This is also spiritual fire, the ability to really feel that deep spiritual transition and transformation in a fiery like way that brings us into a new level of spiritual elevation and awareness and just dedication as well. I'm getting that this is really where we're going to get more of our intuition and we're going to feel even more clear insight. So we may be just focused, like the cards say, we're going to be focused on just having a graceful transition in January, and then we're really going to rise out of any fire from that transition in February. We're going to start to feel more accomplished, more spiritually connected, and just more resilient in what we have gone through. And we're going to be more clear from that as well. So Daughter of the Phoenix with Kuan Yin for February. Love this card. Love this card so much. So really just, and it's a 6 card. This card is a 6 card. So it's about creation too. The 6th card is about creating. So we're going to feel a lot of abilities to create from the fire we've experienced and from rising out of that in February. Beautiful story coming forth already here in the cards. Grace and Daughter of the Phoenix. Let's see what March has to offer. Beautiful card, March. This is children. Maybe you are growing your family in March, or really what I'm getting for this card primarily is the inner child activation, full rebirth of the inner child as well, feeling completely connected to a healed inner child and to a new, curious, adventurous, and explorative inner child where we're going to feel more playful, more excited to move forward in things that are unknown instead of fearful. We're going to feel more pure and full of love and just happy. And it's going to just let us be that balanced version of ourselves that really floats through any experience with this inner child connection. And this is going to be a great card for us. I'm super excited for this card for March because that's just a great coming back from the Daughter of the Phoenix into childlike energy. So we're really going to feel reborn between February and March with that inner child. So beautiful. So far we've got Grace, Daughter of the Phoenix, and children, inner child play. All right, so April, beautiful card, another card from the Healing with the Angels deck. Trust. April is all about trusting ourselves, trusting in our ability to move forward with all of that determination, hard work, and action based on our clear insight that we've received, and really trusting in our guides. I know a lot of you had said that trust is a big part. Trusting in your guides is a really big part of your awareness to what you want for yourself and into intentions for 2020. So this is where a lot of that will come to fruition, that full trust in your guides, that full trust in your decisions, and that focus on trusting, which is going to help everything really move even more fluidly for you in the year. And this is April's card, Trust. And I love the color. This is all that throat chakra blue as well. So really trusting in the way we communicate, trusting in how we speak up, trusting in how we express ourselves appropriately. Really powerful. All right. And then May. Ooh, what a great card. Ace of Air. And this is a unicorn. I'm trying to get the glare if you guys can see. Such a beautiful card with that unicorn flying in the clouds. Beautiful. This Ace of Air is really signifying that we're going to feel free. We're going to feel so free in May. We're going to feel above the clouds. We're going to feel really capable of what we desire. We're going to feel really inspired and really light-hearted and full of light. We're going to feel a lot of light body activation with this card in May, and we're going to really be able to focus on more of our spiritual awareness through this Ace of Air card. Love this card. It's such a great card for 2020 for the May energy, especially coming off of that trust and that inner child play for the 2 months before that, and then moving into this just above the clouds, freedom, liberation, and connection to spirit and our intuition. Such a powerful card, really great energy for May. All right, and then at our halfway mark in June, wow, love comes forth. Love comes forth in June. If you guys can see that, it says love, but you can't really see it. The glare is kind of hard to show you guys, but this is the love card. It's the Three of Cups. This is fulfillment in love. This is fulfillment in our heart chakra. It could mean that we find new love or find a fulfilled romantic relationship, of course, but this is also just feeling heartful, just feeling completely pure in our heart. Remember, we talked about the heart chakra being a big focus for 2020, so we're really going to feel that full manifestation of heartfulness, that bliss, that gratitude, that connectedness, that love, that compassion, that ability to create and magnetize what we desire through our heart space in love, unconditional love, and complete fulfillment with that. The Three of Cups is also really great for harmony in love and all aspects of love, and really enjoying the mind, body, and soul balance of love. So really, really great card for June. I love this card. This is the 6th month. This is when my birthday is as well. My birthday's 6/6. And so super exciting to be able to tap into that 6 number with creation in love. So we'll be creating more levels of love. And we want to focus on creating more levels of love in June. So beautiful. So real quick, 6-month recap. Grace for January, February, Daughter of the Phoenix, March, children, inner child, April, trust. Then we've got the Ace of Air. And then we've got love on the other side. I'm trying to hold them all, but it's like impossible. So really, really great so far. I'll make sure I get these right. Okay. Yes. That was great. Okay, cool. All right. So let's tap into the next 6 months of 2020. I'm being called to pull a Goddess Isis deck. Let's see how you guys are doing as I pull these cards. Anita says, yes, I am a Phoenix. I love that. Bianca says, February, so on point. Yes, Jade is here. Hey, Jade. Hey, beautiful. She says, amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see what we have for July. Come on, July. Show us your card. I told you, some of these card decks are integrating my energy since I cleared them so well. All right, we've got July. Time for August with the Spirit Messages deck. I love this deck. Let me know what you guys are doing today. If anybody celebrated last night for New Year's Eve, or if anybody's celebrating today, doing anything fun. And I'm being called to go back to the Angels of Atlantis for August. Feel like energy of complexity in July and August, just needing patience there. The cards speak to us in the method of pulling too. So that was the September card. Now I'm pulling the October card. November, another Kuan Yin. All right, July, August, September, October, November. One more card. Which one will it be? Somebody, whoever the first is to put a number 1 through 6, guess the number 1 through 6. Spirit's having us put it in your hands. So whoever puts the number up first will be the deck that I choose. 3. Cool. Thank you, Jasenia. You are the winning one. Another Voyager deck card for the last month of 2020. December 2020. There it is. It came right up. Good pick, Jasenia. All right. Let's see what the last 6 months of 2020 looks like. Let's go with July 1st. Past life, present power. Goddess Isis deck, really powerful. And so the card itself said, this is for July. As the soul grows in service to the great feminine and her intention that all beings be healed and free, it gathers internal resources to assist on the path. These resources include powers and gifts from other lifetimes. You are currently integrating past life abilities. Be open to what is taking place as your soul awakens ancient power and abilities within you. So in July, after we're feeling that freedom, that love, that connection to trust, we are going to feel past life and present power through activating power from our past lives and our divine feminine quality. That's going to be a beautiful card for July as we integrate new aspects of ourselves from the old and really get a full spectrum understanding for even more clear vision and clear insight from 2020. Super powerful. Past life, present power. All right, and August card from the Spirit Messages deck is self-love. What a great card for August. Really feeling into our ability to connect with ourselves, to use some of that love that we